Hello there, this is Patricia from Pinky's World. Welcome to my first stash busting video. I'm trailing around the internet looking for very old, maybe old tutorials, but they were not actually video tutorials, they were just written tutorials, and I'm trying to cipher through them, work them out, see if they're worth doing and having a wee go and making a video so you can do them too. I'm looking for things that I know I will use. Like you could slip this into somebody's Christmas present, birthday present, whatever. You could hand it to somebody as a thank you gift if they've done something or went shopping or done something nice for you and you want to just give them a wee tiny gift. It's quite simple. I found this one by the Crafty Thinker. I think she's Australian, and it was about 2017, so quite a bit of time ago. But I thought I'd update it with what I'm using now. And I'm not buying new stuff. This is all like retired stuff, old stuff from my own stash. So you don't need to go out and buy anything, just use what you have. This one was made using Poppy Parade red card. The stamp set is called Love This Moment, which is, I'm not sure if it's still available or not, to be honest with you. I'm not really a demonstrator anymore. I'm just playing with the stuff at the minute. So anyway, it opens up, and inside it stores either one large Kit Kat or two small ones, depending on what country you're from. I don't know. I reckon the American Kit Kats are the same size as ours. Inside she had a wee note, a wee quote for Thanksgiving or something she did hers for. So I thought it would be nice if you're making wee notes about what you need to shop for or whatever. Rip this off when you've eaten your Kit Kat and away you go and you have a wee list made. So quite simple. Also stamped. I didn't like, she had used plain card like myself, but I didn't like it. I just thought it was just too plain. So I decided to stamp the same image that I used here all throughout in the matching colour. So Poppy Parade, it actually goes over this way. But I thought it was genius. It was really good what she came up with, and I just wanted to recreate it. So it is held closed by a belly band, and you can decorate it, do it whatever way you want. The papers that I've used here are from the Delightfully Eclectic. I did pick these up in the clearance rack. Big packet of papers, you wouldn't believe it. So they'll be great for me to use for scrapbooking and whatever. But this is what we're going to make today. So I'm just going to get on with too much talking. Right, where will we go first? What you're going to need is a piece of A4 card, cut it down to 11 inches. So 11 inches in length, but A4 size. Our A4 in the UK is 8 1/4. I think the US is 8 1/2, so cut it down to 8 1/4. You'll need a strip of whatever paper you want to use. I'm going for the nice stripes. Suits any occasion. It is 1 3/4. Did I make it? See if I'm measuring, because I don't think I wrote that down. Yeah, 1 3/4. And it's about 8 inches, just over 8 inches. 8 1/8. To wrap around. If you're going to do the wee piece inside, it needs to measure 2 1/4 by 3 6/8. And I just rounded the corners, and then you can decide what you're going to do. You can put a quote on it, a flower, whatever. So we're going to start now and we're scoring. Oops. So on the 11-inch side, we're going to score first. And you want to score it at 3 inches. 3 1/2 inches, 7 1/2 inches, and 8 inches. Oops. Spin it around and go in again at 2 1/2 inches, 3 inches, 5 3/4, or 5 6/8, whatever you want to call it, and then 6 1/4. And that's your scoring done. So we're going to do our cutting before we go in. So we're cutting away these ones. Actually, it goes this way. Cutting away these two, and this, but we're leaving these wee squares. You want to keep that nice so you can fold your box and you'll see as it goes along. So you need these sections, but you don't need these. So we're going to cut those away. So I've got axes on those just to show you. This is the shorter side. This is the slightly wider side where you're going to put your wee white piece. So I've axed out this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one, but leave those two squares. Leave these, leave this. Down here we're going to go off, 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 keep, off, off, and keep those two squares. So you go ahead and cut that. So you should be left with a shape like this. And we're just going to go in. I'm going to use my very best trio punch. I'm going to cut some sort of tag shapes here. At the long one, not the side, but there's two different sizes for your side, for your closure, and these are the top and bottom. So if you want to, if you haven't got one of these, use a rounder. Or just your scissors, might be easier on this punch. But that's what we're doing. She had done this as well, so I thought it was a nice addition. Just slice this up. Now, so for these bits, I wanted to round the corners. Same with this side. Oops. And then we're just going to stamp. As I say, it is, you could run through an embossing folder maybe to give it some like nice design. I am just going to go with the stamp and the matching ink. And again, it doesn't have to be matching. Do something close to it or paler than it or whatever you fancy. Get yourself a piece of scrap so you don't overstamp. Now when you're stamping, bear in mind that these close in and this close in. So you could do your folds there if you felt like it. Fold your wee pieces in and then you'll know which direction to put your stamp in if it is a directional stamp. Like you could be putting words in like happy or smile or whatever all over it as well, and you want them to read correctly. So when you fill those up, I will burnish these in a minute. That's just to give you an idea of what's going on here. So those fold into the centre to hold your Kit Kats. These two will fold in, so you know this one is facing towards you, and this one, the design, you know, don't turn it around, make sure it's facing towards you as well. The same here, this will be white, and then when you close it over, you want these all facing the right way, and the same at your back. So bear that in mind whenever you're doing your stamping. When you flip things over, decide which one is your top and bottom. We want this to be facing us, so we're going to do all this stamping first in the right way. Face me, I should say. I'm hoping there's enough ink in this. It's a pretty old looking one. And just randomly stamp. And you can see it shows up nicely because it's the same sort of ink colour. And go over into the centre. Add wee bits to fill in any gaps. And just repeat that right across and keep going till you're covered. So I have all my stamping done. That's right. No, that's right. It's upside down. So this is the side you're going to put this wee piece on, and I just want to show you. Just use the same stamp you did for all your outline, whatever stamp set you're using. I'm just inking it up on the old olive again, and I'm just going to put it off a wee bit at the bottom. And then I drew pencil lines in myself just to give it a lined look. You could use a jotter page here instead if you wanted. Keep your offcuts for doing your circle punching for decorating your wee band. What did I do? I have a nice board here. And I just lined my item up with a bit of tape. And then I just went in with my ruler and a pencil. As I say, you can leave this blank. You could stamp a sentiment of some sort. Make sure your pencil's got away. And I'm just following the white lines for mine, so that's too close. So I'm going down to the next one and just laying it up on both sides. Getting a wee pencil line. If it works. God, that pencil's wicked. Where's my next one? The grid's giving me a nice equal space in between. If you're making a whole lot of these, you'll not want to sit and do this, you won't. But for one or two, you'll not mind. But just, excuse me, there is actually a stamp in here that gives you lines, if you fancy using that. My thing was just a wee bit too wide, so it wasn't, it was showing that line down. I didn't want that jotter type style. I just wanted plain lines. Fitting that pencil is crap. One more. As I say, you could just put a nice quote or something, or just leave it blank. You don't even have to put anything in it. But I'm just sort of following what the lady did with hers. So that gives us that nice wee thing. Get this out of the way. Get my sticky tape off. And then we're just going to stick this in place. And then we'll do our belly band. Make sure your broader piece, it's just slightly broader than this one, is at your right for sticking this into. It's a good wee idea. You could have, if you're making this thicker, I was thinking you could make a wee jotter even in here, and a pen. The others, you can just your space to do that. So your two Kit Kats will sit in here. These will fold up so they go up that wee tunnel and keeps your bars from floating about, which is another good idea. And then you can see why you need your belly band to hold it nice and firm, but it is actually a nice wee idea. So for your belly band, I always start at the front, about the halfway line, and then work my way around. And I know that's there. If you need to trim any off, with the stripes it is good. If you've cut your piece straight, it should all line up nicely with no, I think I'll cut mine back a wee bit, maybe to the orange line. Shaky hand. Pull it fairly tight, but not overly tight, so that you can slide it off easy enough. And sort of line it up. You see, mine doesn't look fully in line. That's better, isn't it? So I'm just creasing those with my hand. You do the same. Just give it a wee bit of shape, and then I know that my glue can go to the other side of the sort of orangey one. Oops, slippy. Come on. I'm really making a fart's end of this. Right, that's not lining up completely, but punch your circle out and see how it looks. If you've 3 axes, make sure you rub them out. I'm going with 2 1/4 inch for my green. And I want a wee 2 inch for the flower. I'm just going ordinary white lightweight paper, and I'm going to use the other end of this to stamp the flower onto. You can stick that on because there's nothing being stamped onto it. If you're stamping your sentiment directly onto it, we'll do that first. So that's our circle. I've stamped the smile already and cut around it again with the old olive. It will sit here. So it'll let you see what it's like doing the two different colours on it. Give you an idea. Where is that stamp now? Where are you? Here you are. So I'm just going in with black for the outline so that I can colour it in with my markers. Otherwise it'll bleed on it. Black memento, I should say. And just leave yourself enough room to cut a wee border around. And then I'm just going to colour that in with the selection of blends. So what shall we go with? I'm going to do the leaves first. This is just the dark old olive. I'm just adding a few more wee lines just to spread that darkness out. And then I'll just go in with the light granny apple green. So I want to go much lighter to make the dark stand out. I'm just blending those lines in if I can. And the ones beside it are going to be the dark olive, just so that they really sit up against the light granny apple green. So I'm not bothering with shading or anything, they're just too small to take that on board. And because I have lots of colours to choose from out of this, excuse me, I thought I'd do the main flower in yellow, or even go, if you wanted an autumn look, go with orange. So I'm just going round the edges of this bigger flower in the centre with my dark Daffodil Delight. And then do a couple of those ones in between, just following the line of the stamp. And the same with these ones here, we'll do the edges, we overlap, and this overlap, and then over that, and there's another flower somewhere, isn't there? Again, keeping it dark down below. And then just quickly go in with your light Daffodil Delight. I'm leaving those white at the minute, those wee tiny pieces in there. I'm really just scribbling this over, not spending time on it. And the same with this one. And then you could either go orange or whatever colours you're picking up. I'm going to pick up that red, and I'm using light poppy parade just simply because I had it out for those wee tiny flowers, and it just adds a wee spark of brightness to it. So that's the way I'm going. I'm also adding that red in there to both of those. I'm going to continue on colouring these in and come straight back to you. So that's me all coloured up. I'm going to add this now, and you can see it'll cover my wee mishap there. So just put a wee bit of glue in the centre part. You don't want to stick your circle to the box, you just want to stick it to the paper. Hold that in place, and you can see that'll still slide up and down. So we're going to cut around this now, and if you're a bit nervous about cutting around any of these things that haven't got a die, you haven't got a die for it, draw a pencil line if you want outside or a dark marker line, a good bit outside so that you can cut on the inside of the pencil mark, and it'll keep you guided whereas you're trying to turn your paper and follow the flow of this. It can be tricky sometimes, especially when your eyes are getting like mine. But sometimes it works out even quicker cutting it yourself than putting it through your die cutting machine. Not as neat, but still usable. So that's it. Excuse me. So we're going to have this sitting sort of sideways and this one going in here. And the last time I didn't raise the smile up, but I think I will this time because I think it needs a wee bit of a lift of some sort. Just give it, make sure you do it at the right side. So I want it overhanging a wee bit, so I'll make sure I don't stick that to anything. And then I'm going to raise this one up too. Just make sure and put your 3D down here, not up at the top, because again it's going to overhang. And then just to finish off this old pack, they are old olive, a bit glittery like, but they'll do the job. So I'm going to put one red one, maybe here to bring that red, or maybe down here. And then a small green one. And a bigger green one outside. Sort of a wee bit in a stripe, but it's just I want to use up all my stuff. I'm really working hard to get through all my stash. So that's a quick wee idea. Really good wee tutorial from the Crafty Thinker, you call her. It was away back in 2017, so she hasn't really got any links. I just happened to come across it on Pinterest, I think, and searched for. So if you want to check her out, go and do that search, the Crafty Thinker. So I'll have all the measurements down below, and as always, use whatever stash you have, and I'll catch us all again soon with another stash buster. Thank you for watching. Bye.